again. This is part 2. Blackstone Group, BlackRock. Blackstone is one of the many investment funds of Jacob Rothschild. The Blackstone Group was founded in 1985 by Peter George Peterson and Stephen A. Schwarzman. The CEO of Blackstone, Stephen Schwarzman, is now an economic advisor to Donald Trump and chairman of Donald's Business Advisory Council, the Strategic and Policy Forum. Stephen A. Schwarzman was initiated in Skull and Bones in 1969. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin became a bonesman in 1985. In 2015, Jared and brother Josh Kushner, with Ryan Williams of Blackstone, who became a Cadre CEO, funded the investment firm Cadre. Kushner has also partnered with Blackstone, the world's largest asset manager. BlackRock was founded in 1988 as part of the Blackstone Group. According to the state media, BlackRock is independent from Blackstone since 1995. The founder and CEO of BlackRock is Larry Fink. The family Trump invests most of their money in BlackRock investment funds. See Stephen Schwarzman and President Trump in a meeting with business leaders at the White House on February the 3rd, 2017. The link will be attached. George Soros. Rothschild agent George Soros was involved with Trump in a bankruptcy fraud with the General Motors building in New York. Soros, together with Goldman Sachs and Peter Thiel, funded the Cadre investment firm with $250 million. In early 2015, Kushner forgot to disclose that he is indebted for more than $1 billion from 20 investors, including Blackstone Group, Bank of America, Citigroup, UBS, Deutsche Bank, and Royal Bank of Scotland. Kid's a total loser, isn't he? In 2009, Mnuchin was involved in a group of investors that included George Soros and Joel Polson to buy the IndyMac Bank that had been shut down in 2008. After they renamed it One West Bank, it was sold a few years later with a profit of billions. ECFR, the Dutch-Turkish lawyer Ekman Elpken, has attracted some controversy over paying Mike Flynn $530,000 to lobby or something, and then getting an $80,000 kickback. Elpken is close to Turkish President Erdogan, and in 2013 became a member of the European Council of Foreign Relations. Erdogan is also a total dirtbag. The ECFR was co-founded in 2007 by Mabel Wise Schmidt, still one of its presidents, sister-in-law of King Willem-Alexander of the Netherlands. ECFR was financed by George Soros, who is also a prominent member. Since the 1990s, Mabel has worked for the Open Society Foundation of Soros. Prince Constantine, brother of Willem-Alexander, is also a member of the ECFR. Jeffrey Epstein. Both the Clintons and Donald Trump are good friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing underage girls and running a pedophilia sex ring. Epstein was convicted to a total of 13 months in jail for 8 hours per day. Most accounts claim that every Sunday Epstein was locked up the whole day. This means that Epstein was locked up for a total of 56 whole days. Epstein arranged underage girls for, amongst others, Prince Andrew. Donald Trump provided his private jet for Prince Andrew to meet with his good friend Epstein. Epstein was also a member of Trump's Mar-a-Lago, where the underage Virginia Roberts was recruited by another pedophile, the girlfriends of Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. St. Nate Rothschild, Nefer Sovo, Nick Rhodes, Ghislaine Maxwell in London. There's a photograph of them in 2013. In 1996, Lynn Foster, wife of Evelyn de Rothschild, introduced Epstein to Alan Dershowitz. Epstein quickly introduced Dershowitz to Shimon Peres and Prince Andrew. In 2008, Alexander Ocasio, now Donald's Secretary of Labor, as U.S. Attorney, made the sweet deal with Jeffrey Epstein. Not only did Epstein receive a very mild sentence, but has also immunized several of the pedophiles that used the quote-unquote services of Epstein's sex ring, which reportedly included Alan Dershowitz. Does that surprise you? Huh? How many times have I said that about Dershowitz? In 2001, Acosta wrote a letter in which he defended this decision. Our judgment in this case, based on the evidence that was known at the time, was that it was better to have a billionaire serve time in jail, register as a sex offender, and pay his victims restitution than risk a trial with a reduced likelihood of success. I supported that judgment then, and based on the state of the law as it is then stood and the evidence known at the time, I would support the judgment again. Sure you would. How much did you get? Huh? In the 2011 letter, Acosta admitted that the work release for 16 hours per day seemed highly unusual treatment that undermined the purpose of a jail sentence. At the Senate confirmation hearing, Alexander Acosta described the secret non-prosecution deal with Jeffrey Epstein as a good thing. According to Acosta, Epstein's attorney launched a year-long assault on prosecutors more aggressive than any Acosta had previously encountered, including falling witnesses and discrediting victims by publishing their social media profiles. That'll be part 2. Looks like we're going to be going to part 3. Stand by.